It wasn't the news people were hoping for, but the province of Ontario is now headed into quarantine at 12:01 a.m. on Boxing Day. To talk about it is St. Catharines Mayor Walter Sendzik. Good to have you back on the show via Skype. How are you doing?
Not bad, Bob. It's these are challenging times for a lot of folks, but I just want to start by saying thank you to you and your team for keeping our communities up to date since the beginning of this pandemic. It's helped a lot of people. I just want you to know that.
Oh, thank you, Walter, and we appreciate your input on the show too. For the longest time, we had you on weekly, keeping us up to date in St. Catharines. So, your thoughts on the full lockdown?
Yeah, this is probably one of the most difficult decisions that the premier of the province has had to make in his life. And when you look at the impact that it's going to have on businesses and faith-based organizations, this is a very difficult time for a lot of people. But this is really needed in order for us to get a handle on what has clearly been a very difficult, spiraling out of control second wave of COVID-19. So difficult decisions, but we're seeing strong leadership now as we're heading into what looks to be a full lockdown across the province.
Yeah, a big part of this decision was hospital capacity. That's the case in St. Catharines as well. It's critical.
Yeah, we are facing overwhelmed numbers coming in. We have a number of long-term care outbreaks, and that has put an increased pressure on our healthcare system. And so you're starting to see surgeries being moved. You're starting to see heavy restrictions on our healthcare system. And heading into the holidays, Bob, that's never a good time or a good situation to be in. So while this is taking place on Boxing Day, the lockdown, we're asking people, stay home now. Get ahead of what we have been seeing for weeks now. Try and be a part of it by staying home now.
This is so hard for local business. What are things looking at right now? And the government has actually come up with some grants for small business, but is there anything at the municipal level helping out, or are you asking for money to help businesses in St. Catharines?
Yeah, the federal and provincial governments have been trying to ensure that the money gets to those who are being affected most. And so at the municipal level, we're limited in what we can do. So we've done things like waiving of permits for patios. We've waived the penalties for paying property taxes for those who couldn't make those payments. In addition, we've done a lot of promotion. We right now have Love STC, which is a website where you can go and see all the businesses that are doing curbside pickup, that are doing online deliveries. And these are, they may seem like small ways that we're trying to help businesses, but we're trying to say to the public, support your local businesses as much as possible. And to the federal and provincial governments, they're going to have to continue to provide supports to the small businesses because we're not through this yet. And we've got to make sure that our small businesses in our communities are able to survive these very challenging times.
Yeah, it's so important. Are there any issues with compliance? I know we've had a number of infractions in Hamilton. What's the situation in St. Catharines?
We haven't heard any glaring issues of compliance. I think one of the concerns from public health is going to be heading into the holidays and seeing people not following the only in your own household. So we want to remind the public as we head into lockdown that there will be fines associated with significant gatherings of people. And we're not doing this to be the Scrooge of Christmas, if you will. We're doing this because it'll help stop the spread of COVID-19. We have to forego one more significant holiday, hopefully, in order for us to get onto the other side of this. We're at a tipping point, Bob, and this holiday is going to prove whether or not we're committed to our communities or we're going to act in what may be selfish ways and not protect our community.
Okay, we wish you the very best as we grind through this, and looking forward to better stuff in 2021.
You have yourself a Merry Christmas and Annette, and to the entire team.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. There's Annette. And Brian says hi to you. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.